Oh, hello, my dears. No need to brew anything. I've got a smoothie here made of nectar, lotus, and don't think negative thoughts petals. Today isn't stand up, and it isn't tragedy. More like reality TV with a side of farce and my personal commentary. Topic: Hera. How I stopped worrying and learned to love the zoo. People are always asking me, Hera, how do you put up with this? And I look at the divorce stats among immortals, at Hades permanently scowling, at Ares' bachelor era suffering, and I realize there's no magic pill called perfect husband. There's choice, and I made mine. Not because I'm a victim, a saint, or an idiot, but because in this role, honestly, I'm not bored. Story 1: Birds, literally. Let's start with a classic. Lita, gorgeous, a king's daughter. And what does my genius husband do? Turns himself into a swan. Yes, you heard that right. Big, white, hissing bird. Not a titan, not a thunder god, a swan. Why? Because she liked birds. That's like if your husband tried to impress the neighbor who's a veterinarian by turning into a ferret. Creativity level, underground. I couldn't go to a park for a month, and I ordered duck for dinner every night. The message had to be clear. Story 2: Golden Rain. Or when your husband turns into an investment product, then it gets better. Danae. Her father locks her in a tower. Zeus's logic. Oh, no access in man form? Then I'll just seep in. So he becomes Golden Rain. Not coins, no. Just glowing atmospheric moisture. On the one hand, romantic. On the other, wildly impractical. Try explaining to Olympus security. Yes, that's my husband back from a work trip. This puddle in the entryway. Please kiss his sandals. Their kid, Perseus, turned out great. Beat Medusa and all. But the residue, like that rain, definitely lingered. Story 3: Why love is sometimes getting the keys to the universe. Let's not kid ourselves. Zeus is a terrible husband, but he's an excellent partner, as in a governing partner. He didn't just say, be my wife. He said, you'll rule with me as an equal. And it's not just talk. When I walk into the throne room, everyone trembles. When I say no, it's law. He entrusted me with half his sky, not out of guilt, but because he knows nobody does it better. I'm his one legitimate co-pilot on this starship that's absolutely headed for Tartarus. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a rush. Not being decoration, but command. Second in rank, sure. Still command. Story 4: Why I didn't leave. Emo. Any sane god in my place would have packed a bag and disappeared into a sunset centuries ago. I've caught Artemis giving me that look. Poor thing, why? But I look at her, forever sprinting through the woods with a bow, and think, isn't she cold? Everyone has their own way of being happy. Mine isn't running from the problem. Mine is putting it to work for me. His affairs are my creative training ground. Every new fling is a chance to get imaginative. Send a gadfly, turn somebody into a constellation. Keeps the brain from drying out. Better than crossword puzzles. Story 5: Boundaries. Everyone knows, including him, I'm not the eternally delighted wife. I have a big red panic button, and he knows exactly where it is. Public humiliation, disrespect. No, those aren't our games. He tried it once. I caused such a scandal. Titan involvement, Rhea involved, that he walked a straight line for 3 centuries. Now he's careful. Not faithful, careful. And that's my minimum. Because past that minimum isn't my meltdown. Past it is the end of his little cosmic resort. And he respects that. Weird kind of respect, but I'll take it. Story 6: How I learned to love myself and my birds. I used to be angry, like truly. Then I realized anger is drinking poison and hoping someone else dies. Boring. Now I have a hobby. I collect consequences. Every one of his demigods is my personal project. I made Heracles do his labors. I raised Dionysus into the god of parties. Perfect revenge. Let him haunt his father with hangovers forever. I became the godmother to half the pantheon. I'm not the wife who got cheated on. I'm an investment fund and accelerator for my husband's side projects. And guess what? My portfolio is thriving. What did I learn? My life hacks. 1. Power beats tears. Instead of crying into a pillow, issue a decree. Better for your skin. 2. Turn your spouse's weaknesses into your assets. His thing for mortals? Great talent pipeline. Now I've got heroes on standby. 3. Love yourself more than you love him. I do spa days with Hebe, order new Peploy, read books. My inner world is my fortress, and his antics don't get a key. 4. Remember, he always comes back, and never empty-handed. An island, a constellation in your honor. Appreciate the gestures, even if they're basically a bribe. So my dears, don't look for advice or judgment in my story. It's just a report on the route I chose. Not the straightest, not the easiest, but mine. And you know what? When he finally comes home, tired, smelling like a thunderstorm, and sits down next to me without a word, there's something in that silence that's worth putting up. With a couple dozen nymphs, one semele, and the occasional missing pair of bullhorns. Now excuse me, I've got yoga with an ocean in it. And Zeus, I think, turned into rain again this time. Over Sparta. Again. Well, I hope it's a productive shower, and I happen to have an idea for a new constellation. Unfaithful husband. Kidding. Or am I? Be happy, love yourselves, and remember, perfect marriages don't exist. Only the ones you're willing to work on, or the ones you're willing to ride out with a sense of humor and a really good smoothie.